Hello everybody, and this is McQuack with the MTG noob here. This is our first Commander deck tech. If you didn't know, Commander is a 100 card, 99 card, technically. The 100th card is your general right here. She goes in the command zone, or he, not sexist or anything. And it's 99 cards, singleton, so you can't play more than one card. Yeah, that's about it. You get to play your general anytime you want, as long as you can pay the mana cost. It costs 2 more every time if she dies or exiled or any sort of thing. If your commander would go into the graveyard or an exile, you can return her to the command zone at any time. As you can see, our commander today is Mrs. Zoll, the Queen of Plagues, a very revealing queen who is not appropriate for children to be watching. But she's the queen of our deck as well, who does not relate very well with her. She is a queen, she has a mighty scepter, with what looks like a face on it, and she leads this deck. Deck focuses on using instants and sorceries. I guess you would call it a control deck. It's mostly just trying to have fun with the game. It's not really something for serious. The lands are, Vesuva, Reliquary Tower, which you never draw a Reliquary Tower when you actually have a need to not have a maximum hand size. That's a rule, actually. The last game I played, I drew 44 cards off of doubling Blue Sun Zenith off of Chandra, just hoping to draw a Reliquary Tower. My opponent did concede, but I did not draw the Reliquary Tower with 10 cards left in the library. Drownyard, there are ways to recur instants and sorceries in the deck. Helps with that. Other than that, it's just a little utility. Maybe they have 3 cards in their deck, and you just want to drown them. Yep. Lighthouse, it loots, it's just another little helpful land. Beside you, counters. Most of our deck is instants and sorceries, so that's pretty good. County Ruins brings back, they kill our mana rocks. Lets us use Oblivion Stone over and over, which isn't super good with mana rocks, but it's better than not using a Wrath effect on the board over and over. I'll tell you what. Command Tower, lands with more than one color in them. Mana rock, a lot of rocks. After playing this game so much, it's just, without having rampant green, you really are really mana hungry. Gilded Lotus is a beautiful card. It's beautiful. Sad Robot is land ramp, fair enough. Sculpting Steel copies usually Gilded Lotus or pretty much any sort of mana rock we might need. Or their swords, because we like using swords. Swords are expensive, though, so we use things to copy swords. That's the rule around here. Things to copy instants and sorceries that we or they may be casting. They might have better ones than us, or we may want to copy them and vengeance our reverberate. Other ways to take things from other people's decks. Stolen goods. Don't have a bribery in here. I do not own one, or I would have it in here as a rule of thumb. We do stolen goods a lot, which there is a story about this card, and a reason why it's probably my favorite card in the deck, and I will tell you it at the end. So look forward to that. Just Heat Shimmer lets you copy, legendary creatures, titans, other sorts of things. Slave of Bolus does the same thing, but it kills it, which is nice. That's about it for, Chancellor of the Spires and Memory Plunder let us cast things from their graveyard. Knowledge Exploitation lets us put an instance of sorcery in their graveyard to let us use Chancellor of the Spires and Memory Plunder more. Cruel Ultimatum is a card people like running, and hitting them 3 times in 3 turns with their own Cruel Ultimatum is a fun thing to do. A lot of wrath effects. We got the over here. We got evacuation and devastation tide just to reset the board. We don't have a lot of creatures, so we don't mind bouncing everything. Devastation tide bounces out the rocks, but you can just cast them next turn. Last finale. Flowstone Slide gets around protection from red, which is really nice. Decree of Pain is well, Decree of Pain with Avatar of Woe ominously in the background. Molten Disaster and me scrolling down on accident. Blast from Sacked, which is usually only for 1 red, which is really good. In case you wanted to know, 1 mana wrath effects are really good. So keep that in mind. Ways to recur. We got a Snappity Snap, Menomina Wall, is it Chronarch, and the, where is it? Mystical Teachings, and Nickelodeon. So a lot. We have 1 spot removal, and that's Terminate and Croesus Charm. By 1, I meant 2. Croesus Charm is really good. You know, it's return to permanent, destroy target non-black, and or destroy target artifact. And so it's utility, and it's instant speed. Aftershock destroys lands, creatures, or artifacts, but it's sorcery speed, so it's kind of like, you know, shooting a bazooka and yelling that you want it to dead. Croesus Charm is a little more subtle, and it's only 3 mana, so I only run the couple counter spells. Hinder and Spell Crumple returns them to the bottom of the library. It's really nice in Commander to have that sort of effect in use. Pulls to the grid, draws cards. I don't know why I just randomly said that. Flex. It's mostly in here for Transmute. It does counter things once they draw enough cards for it to be worth it to be countered. Sometimes it's just worth to discard their hand. 3 mana discard target player's hand isn't terrible. I'll tell you what. And Time Stop, which isn't really that good of a card. There's probably better cards to have it in here for, but I kind of like having the you don't get a turn / exile that card while it's on the stack, because it does exile everything on the stack. So, you know, Tooth and Nail with Entwine, any sort of shenanigans like that, they won't be able to get them back with their, what's it called? Well, you know, Eternal Witness, that thing. Think Tank, it's kind of a pet card. It shifts to the top of your library, discards lands. Yeah, copy enchantment. Copies are arcane melee, which is really nice. And, you know, Think Tank, which top 2 get rid of every land you draw ever, is pretty good. Arcane melee is everyone getting things cost less, but we have more instants and sorceries than them, so just in general, we have more than them. Future Sight, not really important to copy that. Casting Time, also not the most important thing to copy. There is no double rebound on things. Runic Repetition, it combos well with any sort of, you know, flashback. Snapcaster Mage, Mystic Retrieval, and that lets you loop an instant or sorcery by casting this. Cast this, you get something back. You exile this with its flashback, getting something else. Runic Repetition this back to your hand. You can use one of these 2 uses to get Runic Repetition back, and then continue that cycle, which is pretty good. I haven't pulled it off in an actual game yet, but that with instants and sorceries costing less with Arcane Melee is pretty snazzy. Praetor's Grasp lets us grasp them with our Praetorness. We are a Praetor. We are not a Planeswalker with this deck. We are the Praetor. Rite of Replication. Oh, it's just a Rite of Replication. Just so much value. So much value. Surreal Memoir gets back cards. Menomic Wall, Is it Chronic? Pretty much went through that, but I forgot about Surreal Memoir. Gets back 2 things, which is pretty good. Clutch, another Transmute card. Fact or Fiction. Really, it's a fact or fiction. That is a fact. Yeah. Grab the Reins, another take their thing and swing at them. Chandra, she is fun. I mean, doubling, Blue Sun Zenith, you might need to double a Flowstone Slide. Recurring Insight is really good doubled. I mean, they have well, I mean, it's not the best doubled, but I mean, any sort of card drawing spell is perfectly fine doubling it. Or, doubling Stolen Goods. just for the giggles. Galvanoth. He's a Galvanoth. I'll tell you what, he does some things sometimes. I like him, which is why he's in the deck. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't be. In any reasonable person's deck, he would not be here. We are not unreasonable here. We are hanging with Miss Zol. I am sorry for not pronouncing your name correctly. We are hanging with her, and we will continue to hang with her. Fortuna's Blast. Another spot removal, which I forgot before. Again. But it cascades into any of our nice lower drop things, which is pretty good. Vendor's Journal gains us some life. Mirari doubles any instance and sorcery action we got going on. Again, Recurring Insight draws a lot of cards usually. Vision Illuminatus, another just a fun card. Cool to have him out and Mirari and then replicate off Mirari and whatnot. It does double flashback spells, so that's pretty good too. I didn't realize that until I had actually used him in the game. That was pretty good. Chancellor. And that's about the deck, I think. Nothing I really missed. Unless you guys want me to talk about the Dimir signet. Ah, right, the stolen goods story. The thing you have all been waiting for and, put up with me talking this entire time. If you don't know what a pack race is, it's where you open a pack, you open a random 15 card pack. Usually you do, your opponent and you open the same pack. Avacyn, Mirrodin, whatnot. And you add 2 of each basic land to the deck, and you play that straight up as a deck. You don't, there's no adding. You don't look at any of the cards as you put them in the deck. You can put it in sleeves if you want, but, yeah. And you just play that. And, so me and a buddy were playing a game, just, opened some random packs of Avacyn Restored. Having a good time at the shop. And, I start with my own hand with Stolen Goods. It's not bad. I don't have one. And, it is a really fun card. I kind of wanted one. Bad card to pull from a pack, but, it's a fun card. So I don't mind it. And I Stolen Goods him on turn, 6. Because, you don't draw, you don't find the lands you need all the time. So, turn 6 come around, just about that time. And I Stolen Goods him. There isn't much happening. Pack Wars is pretty slow. And, he flips over the top card of his deck, and he has a Grizzlebrand in there. And if you haven't ever stolen someone's Grizzlebrand, it's pretty good. It's a nice piece of tech right there. I mean, there's not much better feeling than being like, whoa, nice Grizzlebrand, bro. I'll steal them. That's pretty good. So, yeah. That is my awesome Stolen Goods story. If you happen to have one as well, post it in the comments. I will gladly read them. And, yeah, Stolen Goods. It's better than Grizzlebrand. Remember that. Thanks for watching. I'll bring you a couple games using this deck. Hopefully we can steal some people's goods. Thanks for watching. This has been McQuack with the MTGO Noob. Please subscribe.